What up, brother man? I just got back from a month-long vacation in Vietnam, and as you could guess, I had zero desire to come back to real life, bro. I know there's a bunch of memes on it out there, but post-trip depression is a very real thing. You go from living in paradise, experiencing true freedom where you're not working, you have a bunch of money to spend, you're just eating, you're just vibing, your time is fully yours. If there's sun wherever you're at too, you're literally in paradise. And then after that trip is done and you come back to your regular schedule, you go back to work, you go back to having to do chores, pay your bills, all of that type of stuff. To hop back into that grind after such a good time is hard, man. It's hard to get back into that groove of the grind. But unfortunately, life waits for nobody. So my name is Huy Tran, and for the last 2 years, I have had the pleasure and the blessing of being a Delta standby flyer. One of my friends works for Delta and I am his companion, so we get to fly for free if the plane has a spot. I'm just putting that out there first because for the last 2 years, I've been able to go to Paris twice, Japan twice, Vietnam twice, and then many US domestic trips. And I'm not saying that to brag, but I do love that and it's very fun. But the real part of that is once you go on all of those trips, you still have to come back. The more you travel, the more post-trip depression that you have to endure. So again, I love traveling, but this is a very real thing. And this time, I knew I had to prepare for the post-trip depression that was gonna come. I made sure that I was gonna get back on track right away. And this is how I did it. So there's 5 things that I did to quickly get back on track. And it not only helped me restore my routine, but also upgrade it in a way. Stay around till the end and I'm gonna explain to you what I mean. So the first thing is not something you do, but it's more something that you know. And that's knowing that life is gonna drag you back whether you're ready or not. So this time, upon landing, I slept that night and then the next day, I was dragged to my first ever K-pop concert, which is a very crazy thing to experience when you're supposed to be experiencing post-trip depression, because it went from super fun to like, dang, I'm back, to something pretty fun again. I'm not complaining, but it was still like, holy crap, how am I here? Why am I here? You know, I landed and my sister, she had planned this for a long time and I didn't know what day I was gonna be back, but it happened to be that day and she's like, all right, bet, we're going. So I went and it was a lot of fun, but boom, that happened. And then a couple days later, my body's still getting used to things and all of a sudden I'm getting called to go play basketball. All right, sure, why not? You know, now I'm playing basketball. And then a few days later, I was trying to use the weekend to get back into my routine, right? But all of a sudden, now I'm getting called to a Pokemon card show because my friends are vendors. And then I was getting called to birthday parties because birthdays were coming up. So what I figured out here in hindsight is that your calendar is gonna decide your schedule for you, which is fine, but you just gotta know that at least your social life, that's like once you're back, that's gonna drag you to places that you didn't know you were gonna be at. So you gotta mentally prepare for that one. This is not something that you really like do, but it's something you gotta be prepared for. But here's the good thing about it. By not easing back into your social life, by getting kind of just boom, slap back into it, it's actually very good because it kind of just forces you to snap out of that post-travel fog, right? That when you get back, you're kind of like slow and you're like, oh God, I forgot how I'm supposed to like act and do things. But something like this, boom, you're right back in there, okay? So again, just keep that one in mind and then we're gonna move on. Now, I feel like that is more applicable to your social life. But for everything else, this is where number 2 comes in, which is do not go from 0 to 100. Do not just go hard at things right away. You gotta ease back into it. And now what I mean by that, for example, at the gym in Vietnam, I unfortunately did not have a very good gym. I was still exercising here and there, but not as much as I would at home. And because there was a crazy schedule over there as well, I just wasn't exercising as much as I would usually like to. And knowing that when I got back to America, there was no way that I should have been working out super hard and intense like I usually would. I had to make sure I eased back into it. So what I did was I went lighter. Weight, less reps, less sets, because I know that if I get too sore by going hard, then I'm not gonna be able to get back in the gym for a few days. And I didn't want that because that's not gonna help me get back in the schedule. But if I just have light little workouts and not get too sore, then I could go multiple times in that first 2 weeks. And that's what I wanted. So I wanted to build that back up. And then another example is for being a month away, I was not cooking, bro. I was just eating out every single day. Even though it was not unhealthy food, I was still eating out and I didn't have to think about what I was gonna cook, you know? So getting back here, it takes that mental energy to like, oh shoot, what should I cook? And then you have to actually go cook it and then you clean the dishes, all of that stuff. That's annoying and that's taxing. So easing back into that, I was not trying to make no elaborate meals. I was trying to keep it simple, which is just healthy meals that are gonna cover your bases of protein, veggies, carbs. Just keeping it real simple so that I could rebuild that muscle of deciding my meals and cooking them. In your regular routine, you're trying to optimize things. You're trying to see what is the best way to go about things to get the most reward out of your effort. But when you get back from a trip, or even not from a trip, but if you're just trying to just start a new schedule, you want to reactivate or activate rather than optimize, okay? You're just trying to start things back up. You're not trying to get it to be the best that it can be. You're just trying to get the engine started again. And the reason for that is you're gonna take these as small little wins. And each of those small little wins is gonna help you build back momentum so that you can be wherever you wanna be at again. But it's very hard to just start from here and then jump all the way back up to normal. It's dang near impossible, but just start small and you get that momentum going and it's gonna last longer. And one of my favorite quotes is actually this: slow is smooth and smooth is fast. Take things slowly. Take your time to do it right and do it well rather than rushing things. Rushing things is how you don't get things done very well, and you're gonna have to end up starting over or fixing things again. So just go slow and ease back into it. Now, in terms of easing back into things, that leads me to my third point, which is to rebuild your pillars. And your pillars are your anchor habit, those things that are non-negotiables for you. For me, my non-negotiables are 1, fitness. So getting active again. I was playing sports again. I was going to the gym again. I was going on my walks again. I'm making sure that I get back to my regular routine exercise activity. My other non-negotiable is my healthy meals. I don't feel right if I'm just continuing to eat out and eat junk. But if I start cooking again, if I start eating healthy again, my body's gonna look right, and that's gonna help build that momentum inside of my head and just my muscles and routine again. And then the third thing, which is the first thing we talked about, is to get my social life back up. I think after a trip, it's easy to feel very lonely, but if you continue to see your people, that is part of just overall wellness of health. Just your social life is still part of your health, so you gotta make sure that is upkept as well. So those 3 things for me is gonna help me get my mind right, my body right, and my routine right. And the reason you build those pillars is because that's your foundation. Once you have that foundation, once you built up those pillars, everything else is gonna fall back into place. But those right there are the most important things to tell your brain, tell you that, hey, we are back into a normal routine, because these are those main normal things that you do. And it might be different for you. But you gotta identify what that is and then rebuild those in your life. But if I'm being real, like, those are very good things to rebuild, because health is always number 1, and all of those things relate back to your health. So what better things to do? Now, my 4th point is use jet lag to your advantage. And this is only applicable if you're traveling and kind of far, but using your jet lag. On the way to Vietnam, or anytime I go on a trip that's out of the country, I basically always stay up over 24 hours upon that first night of sleep. Let that soak in for a bit. So like, I strategically sleep at a certain time on the plane, wake up at a certain time based on like what time I land at that destination, and I just stay up all of that first day, or maybe I stay up the whole plane ride, basically. But at my destination, that first night when I'm going to bed, I have already been up for at least 24 hours by that point, so that I can reset my new sleep schedule for that place. And then the same thing coming back. On the way back, I think I was up for over 30 hours by the time I went back to sleep that first night that I landed back in America. That helped me to not really get jet lagged per se. It was just boom, stay up tired, crash hard as shit, and then now I'm relatively back into a better schedule, rather than all of a sudden you're trying to sleep during the day and you're awake during the night. I don't care where you are in the world, I don't want that. So I want to get as close to a normal schedule as possible, and that's what I do. I just stay up and then crash. That leads me to my last and final 5th point. It is to not only restore your routine, but to upgrade your routine. And this time, the way I did that, before this, it was very bad, I'm gonna admit, but I was sleeping about 6 hours a night, which is terrible. I was tired during the day. I was not thinking straight. But while I was on vacation, I was sleeping okay. Honestly, there was some late nights and early mornings as well, but whatever. I used my jet lag to my advantage. I crashed that first night back in America, and then after that, I was not getting back into. I was building a better sleep routine. So now I'm sleeping at least 7 hours a night. I'm trying to sleep before midnight every night, but at the latest 1 a.m. And I wake up like 8 or 9 o'clock. So it's pretty decent, but it could be better, you know? I was taking this as like using the jet lag to my advantage is to build a better routine. I don't know what else that could be for you. Maybe that's working out, maybe that's eating better, whatever. But you got to take this disruption in your regular life as an opportunity, a window for you to start fresh again and, you know, leave behind things that you don't want in your life anymore, and then adopt new habits or new routines. And sleep is that one for me, at least at this point in my life. So don't treat the disruption as like a frick, dude, like I got to get back into routine, or my routine's so messed up, blah, blah, blah. Take it as a clean slate. You can now rewrite and reprogram your routine so that you get the most benefit out of it, right? Every time you travel, you come back, you kind of get a new fresh perspective on life. So maybe you want to adopt new things, and this is your chance to do that. But yeah, you just got to ask yourself, what do I want to keep and what do I want to get rid of? And that's the 5 things. So let's recap that. 1 is mentally know that you're gonna get thrown back into things whether you like it or not. 2 is to try to ease back into things, get those small wins, build that momentum back up. 3 is to rebuild those pillars in order to ease back into things. Make sure your foundation is straight, and then everything else is gonna fall back into its place. Number 4, 4.5, you wanna call it 3.5, whatever, is if you're traveling, use that jet lag to your advantage and beat the jet lag. Try to stay up if you can. Make sure you get into that routine as fast and efficiently as possible, but don't rush things. And then number 5 is use these times in your life to rewrite your routines and reprogram your life. Don't worry about restoring it as much as you're trying to upgrade and just re-implement things. Now, I realized for me, this was inspired because of travel. But again, you could do this not just after a trip, but even if you're just going through a rut in your life and you're just like, bro, like this routine right now, like I'm miserable every day, things aren't good, I'm not productive, whatever it may be. This is your chance to, I hope that you can take away how to build a better routine that's going to be more beneficial to you. So after watching this video today, I want you to do a couple of things for yourself. Whether you just got back from a trip or you just want to build better habits, do this. Pick one pillar, one anchor habit that you're going to implement this week, and moving forward, keep that into your life. Build something that's going to benefit you and try to build that one habit up, just one. Don't try to do a bunch of different things if you're not already regularly doing them. Just add one new habit, perhaps even get rid of a habit, but do one new thing that's going to benefit you and try to keep that into your life. And that's going to require you to sit down and probably think about what is it that you want to get rid of or what is it that you want to add. But add that thing starting tomorrow and see in like 2 weeks or a month how it's going to change your life and how you live and go about. Now, again, my name is Hui. I have a lot more fitness and health content coming for you soon, but I need your help. Please let me know in the comments. Number 1, what is the hardest thing about developing a new routine or getting back into your routine? What is the hardest part for you? I just want to hear how other people experience things in their perspective so I can like get a new perspective and just see things differently. And maybe I can help, or maybe you can help me. I don't know. And then the other thing is, let me know what you want to talk about, what you want to hear about. I'm just kind of getting restarted with this YouTube channel, so I'm reading all the comments, and everything I read, I will consider it and then see what type of video I should make. All right, so help me out with that. But I appreciate you for watching this video, and I hope that this was helpful to you. I'll see you again. Peace.